Everyone has a story, but not every story was told. Here in the Untold, we meet interesting people with interesting stories to uncover. Do you know that summer is approaching and your body story could even be better? With our guest today, I am your host, Mazouk Saeed, joined by my dear colleague, Abdullah Hindiani. Hello, Abdullah.
Hello, Marzouk. Hello. And yeah, like you said, it's summer. It's the best time to work on your body, to work on your fitness health, to work on your aspirations to get a better lifestyle, right?
Of course.
And for today's episode, we have the guest for that specifically.
That's really awesome. Today we have Coach Abdullah Hamza. He's gonna help us to build a better story for our lifestyle, for our body, so we can have confidence. So wherever we are walking, we are confident. Wherever we are walking, we walk with pride in ourselves.
Yeah, and honestly, Abdullah has a master's in coaching and performance sciences, right? He took it from Ireland. I think he studied in Dublin. So he has a wide range of information that he's going to be sharing with us.
That's really awesome. Not any information, but a VIP information. So if you're interested in shaping your own body, stay tuned for this episode.
And we're back. We're joined by Abdullah Hamza, who's a fitness coach. And I'd like to first welcome you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And I think it's always something we'd like to start our interviews with. It's always the beginning, first the untold stories of our guest.
Yeah.
So how was your beginnings, right? How were you?
So basically, I was just a Kuwaiti kid in love with football or soccer,
Yeah.
and in sports in general. That's the only thing that it was my only escape, to be honest. It's the only thing that I liked, even when I was in school, when I was young. I had to get the grades, but my main focus was sports. My father, he was really strict in terms of studies, so
Yeah.
he didn't let me join any football clubs until I graduated when I was 16.
I think that's the case with all the parents
Of course.
around. 'Cause
Yeah.
I used to play basketball at that time.
Really?
And my parents would be like, no, focus on your study.
Exactly. So until I was 16, which I graduated from high school, because I was in a British school.
Yeah.
So when I graduated, I joined a football club in Kuwait, and after 2 months, I got my scholarship and went to study. And what I studied was coaching and performance science in Dublin, Ireland, in UCD. And when I went there to study that specific field, it's because it's the only thing that I liked. It's the only
Yeah.
thing that resonates with all my passions in life. So I could have studied medicine, engineering, but I chose that because that's the only thing that I like. And my brother's a doctor. I know how he suffered when he was studying. I was with him in Ireland, so I've seen that firsthand. So I decided to study something that I like instead of, what... in Kuwait, like we see, like many engineers, many doctors.
Yeah.
These are the two main fields that people go after when they
Like
want
very
to study.
common.
Exactly. So I wanted to choose something that I actually liked. So that was the basis of my decision.
And that's really awesome. And he mentioned something very important, that he went for that major because it was his passion, not because of the salary, not because of like what people are gonna think about you. No, because you something you really loved and it's related to your field as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you because before I actually went to Ireland to study that, as soon as I got accepted, and many of my family members and friends knew, they were like questioning this decision. Are you serious? Like, you got good grades in the IGs when I graduated from high school. So why would you go and study something like that? Like that, you won't get a good salary, you won't get a good job. And I agree with that. But as long as I studied something that I liked, and then I could actually pursue greatness in that field because that's something that I like. So I will have a lot of energy. I'll be doing that happily. So to me, it was a no-brainer because I'm gonna work in this field my whole life. Might as well like it.
Yeah. Like they say, if you do something you love, you're not going to work a day in your life.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree totally.
And so when did that transition come that you were, okay, I want to be focused on health style, I want to be focusing on fitness? Was it early on? Was it later on?
To be honest, when I went to Ireland to study, my main focus was if I'm not going to become a football player there, I want to become a manager, a football manager or a coach. And as I went through the first and second and third year while studying, I gained so much knowledge. So I kind of changed the way I was thinking. I don't want to become just like a football coach.
Yeah.
Rather, like the biggest problem I see in Kuwait is, the obesity epidemic
Yeah.
and diabetes as well.
Because unfortunately, I think we're ranked, I think it was first or
Yeah,
third
first,
or something.
unfortunately,
Yeah.
for yeah,
I mean, thanks
39%.
to all the delicious restaurants that we have
Yeah,
around.
yeah.
That's true. That's true, honestly. But like in Kuwait, out of every 10 people, 7 are overweight and 4 are obese. This is not okay. So
That's like crisis.
exactly. No, because this has huge implications, even in the future. Like in terms of the Minister of Health, it has to deal with all these patients who are suffering from diabetes now, and people who suffer from obesity now, they're gonna suffer from diabetes in the future. So we have to target, the younger ones, the new generation, basically.
Of course.
So my father pushed me towards this area. He was telling like you have to start educating people more in Kuwait regarding nutrition and exercise, because in schools you get PE, you just play sports. It's not really giving you any information about the proper exercise, what you need, like the basic guidelines from the World Health Organization about working out and exercises. Like we have no idea about these guidelines. We never got taught these things, even in school, private or public. I was in a private school. We didn't get this information either. So, and also in terms of nutrition, there are no like I didn't have any nutrition subjects in
There's
school.
not a lot of awareness.
Exactly.
All what I remember, like even in school, like just the fatira بالجبن زعتر.
Yeah.
And the khalta that we used to make in school, the pizza with the fried potato chips inside, and
Which is
hot
unfortunately
sauce.
not super healthy as well.
Yeah.
Of course. And now I'm actually showing people how many calories are in these foods, and the preservatives and all the other chemicals that are inside this food. So basically, I felt like it was a duty. Because Kuwait sent me to study this field, so I have to do something and give something back, and because these are my people,
Of course.
not only in Kuwait but the Arab world. I want to give this information to everyone in the world, and I'm thankful because I have many people who are actually following this information that I'm giving out in social media, who are from like the Gulf region, and even Arabs who are living in Germany, Denmark, Sweden, and I have clients from all over the world who are Arabic listeners and speakers.
That's really lovely. So how do you find like coaching versus like person face to face and like online? Like which one you lean more towards?
Honestly, I would like to do the face-to-face more, but it's not really handy in this time and age. With technology, people focus on the ability to actually, get to the coach quicker, where I can send him a message. I'm in a certain situation right now. I need a reply. So I see it's better than getting people to come to a clinic, to sit, to go through everything. It just takes a long time. It's not really practical, because my focus is like to get to the largest number of people I can get to help the largest number of people I can help, not get people to sit with me in a clinic and this fake prestige or anything that's going on with social media and stuff. So my main focus is to benefit people, and as long as online or social media works, to me that works. That's the
High
only thing
result with a short period of time.
Exactly. And the thing is, I don't want to just change for a month. I want something like to build a new lifestyle, to actually live this way.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to work out for a month. You want to work out your whole life, because that's how you need to live. That's like, for example, let's say, the famous thing that people say here, like, you don't know when you're going to die. I agree. But if God gave me 80 years anyways, I don't want to live the last 30 on a wheelchair.
Yeah.
It's in my hands now.
Yeah, I think that's an underappreciated kind of thing about fitness coaches, is that it's a lifestyle change.
Exactly.
It's improving the quality of your life. I mean, like you said, if you're going to live for 50 years, you want to have good quality 50 years.
Exactly.
You don't want to have, struggling for 50 years.
I agree totally, because even with the elderly, like I don't want to even say the elderly, like 50 years and above, for example, many suffer from osteoporosis, many suffer from diabetes, are overweight, they don't work out, and you can see the older generations, especially like in Kuwait, because there weren't many gyms back in the day. It's only now in the past 10 years. So like I see like the younger generation and the older generation, we're like the generation in between, we're kind of fine. Like we have
the lost
gyms.
generation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So the older ones, they need our care, and the younger ones, they need our education. But if I'm not educated, how can I educate the younger ones?
Of course.
Yeah.
Because that's the future. I don't consider myself the future. It's the next generation always.
Yeah.
So that's my main aim.
And I do love how you emphasize the idea of education, right? Because I think what we're missing here, especially when it comes to fitness and diets and everything, is awareness and lack of education. Because for a lot of people who seek like these fast or cheating kind of things, they try to escape what actually works, which is changing your life, right? Fixing your food, having your diet fixed, working out.
I agree totally, because now we have so many shortcuts.
Yeah.
Many people, they want to take these shortcuts, whether it's pills, injections, operations. Like, I'm not against any of them except the pills, because they're actually harmful. For the injections, it must be the right conditions.
Yeah.
Even for the operations, it must be the right conditions. So I don't think that these conditions are actually available or present right now for many people who are taking these drugs or doing these operations.
Yeah.
So I totally believe in exercise and eating healthy foods, and also, behavioral changes. Like, whenever, for example, emotional eating. Many
Yeah.
people suffer from emotional eating. It's not really like people think it's only sadness. It's called emotional, not sad eating.
Even when you are happy.
Exactly.
I do it.
See, we all
I must
suffer
have
from-
like burger and fries whenever like I do any achievement.
Or, people do something as well. They couple it with, for example, whenever I watch a certain Netflix or a certain series, I have to eat this meal.
They have to watch.
It's like a routine. And I appreciate that. I understand, like, each person has his certain routine or a certain guilty pleasure,
Yeah.
that he has. But the thing is, we have to understand that it's not one decision, because it's consistency.
Yeah.
If you're
It adds
consistent,
up over time.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want you to work out 5 times a week. You're not going to go to the Olympics.
Yeah.
But I want you to at least work out 3 times a week.
Walk,
hit the
walk
basic.
30 minutes a day.
Exactly.
Or whatever.
And enjoy and understand the feeling that you get after exercising. It's not something that I'm telling. I never give my own opinion.
Yeah.
I only say what the studies say, And the studies show clearly that all the hormones that go up in your brain, the happiness hormones in your brain, the feeling you get, the high you get after exercising, it's true, it's real.
Yeah.
And I was just telling the guys, the day that I don't work out, I don't feel myself. I feel like I could be agitated quickly. I'm not as calm as I am.
Yeah.
So that's the main focus for me. Working out is for my mental health. It's for number one for mental health.
That's really a beautiful concept and very well said.
Thank you.
Sometimes, like, how do you motivate people to really stick with this routine? Because I know there's a lot of benefit for it, but some of them, they think like maybe it's a punishment, like I have to do this.
Yeah.
So how you make them? No, I really want to do this because I love it.
That's a great question. It's about fixing people's relationship with food and exercise. Like, for some people, they're like, I can eat more today because I'm going to work out more tomorrow. This is like, it's a consequence. This is what we don't want. You don't want exercise to be as like a consequence for overeating. You can overeat as long as you don't do it every day.
Yeah.
Because it's about consistency. So if you overeat today, it's okay. You wake up tomorrow, from the next meal you can go back to your diet and stick to healthy food, for example.
Like, take it easy.
Exactly. And you know what? Momentum is very important. And what I mean by that is, for example, imagine someone who works out every day, for example. When he gets like certain situations in life, for 3 days he doesn't work out, he's going to feel something's wrong.
Yeah.
I'm used to working out every day.
Because it's a routine by then.
He has this momentum. And the same thing, you have to think about people who never work out. Every day he doesn't work out. So if I tell him we have a program we want to start 4 or 5 times a week, he's not going to do it. You have to start at his own pace. Everyone has a starting point. The thing is with social media, people are comparing their chapter 1 with someone else's chapter 20.
Yeah.
I love that concept.
And that's not real. It's not real. You can't do that.
Yeah.
So people get lost in that. So for me, it's my role is to make these things clear for people, to understand this perspective. You can't compare yourself to others, because I get many people like our clients, they would ask me, why can't we do this training? And they send me a video from Instagram or TikTok. I would tell them, because we started 3 days ago. Why would we change this
There's
plan?
a lot of high expectations from social media.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
not just high. I'm okay
False
with
expectations.
Manipulative.
I'm okay with high, but
Yeah,
false
false
expectations,
expectations.
that puts so much pressure. Like, just let's be real. If someone is married, whether it's a male or female, you're married, you have kids, so automatically, like, you have so many responsibilities, so many, and it's not easy. So trying to balance between this and working out according to a certain actress or a model, which I would work out, for example, the other day I saw a video, it's 2 hours a day, 2 hours for 6 days a week. So that's 12 hours a week. I don't have 12 hours a week to work out. Yeah, nobody has that. If she does that, maybe her job requires her to do that. Maybe her life allows her to do that.
Yeah.
Her lifestyle is way different.
Exactly.
More relaxed.
How could I compare myself to her? But people are doing that, and that's, like, for me, the biggest factor that affects or makes people can't adhere to these programs, because you would how can I say it? It's they would bite off more than they can chew.
That's why social
Honestly.
media is such a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
Because at one point you can reach so many people, you can motivate them, but at the same time, so many other people who are drawing false narratives can also reach those people, and they can give them false hopes.
I agree. Absolutely. And the thing is, like, for me, one of the most important things I learned in college was critical thinking skills
Yeah.
and to understand how to navigate research. To understand, like, everyone, like, whenever I put sources of research on Instagram or TikTok, wherever, nobody reads them.
Yeah.
I put them just to show, like, I'm not giving my
Anyone like,
opinion.
sharing Wikipedia.
Exactly. It's not my opinion. It's these research articles and the best type of research, and nobody reads them. So imagine other people who would, like I know I'm confident in myself. I know I studied, I went abroad, I studied and everything. So I know the information I'm posting, it's accurate because it's not
credible.
my opinion.
It's science.
Research. Exactly.
Of course, there are more to this research, more to fitness, more to nutrition and diet as well, but after the break, so stay tuned.
And we're back with Abdullah Hamza, who's going to be talking to us about all things related to your health, basically. And before the break, we went into the false narratives and false, expectations. And I do want to emphasize that because I do have a lot of family members who are trying all sorts of tricks, right? They're going through pills, weird diets, trends, fads. And then I keep telling them that the science says it's basically energy output, energy input, right? It's a number. If you go below that number, you're going to lose weight. If you go above that number, you're not.
Yeah.
And even though you show them all of these articles of those science-based, research, they don't believe it for some reason.
Yeah. See, the thing is, when you have a mind for conspiracy theories, everything becomes a conspiracy theory. Like big pharma, big everything, like everything is a conspiracy theory. So
It never ended.
Yeah, exactly. So, and honestly, I can't blame them because, for me, it's easy to understand this because I studied it for many years.
Yeah.
But for the normal person, I understand that he does not understand this information. That's why, for me, I use metaphors. I use all the examples I could to bring you the information in a simpler way. That's the most important thing because when you understand better, you will teach your kids better.
Right.
And that's the compounding effect that I want. That's the thing that could affect the future in terms of diabetes and obesity rates in Kuwait. That's the thing that could work, is when every single adult knows and start teaching his kids.
Yeah.
If not his kids, his students. If you're a teacher in school and you see these kids making the wrong decisions, buying the wrong food or bringing the wrong food from home, if you can give them an advice, teachers, they mean a lot to students.
Yeah.
Depending on the teacher, of course, but they usually mean a lot to the kids. So,
They will get inspired by them.
Exactly. So for me, I saw my high school PE teacher 2 months ago. I haven't seen him in 15 years. And when he seen me, and I was speaking to him, and he was shocked that I studied what I studied. And because he actually had an influence on me. He was really kind to me. He allowed me to skip some classes to play extra sports, in school, which was allowed at that time.
That's a cool teacher.
Exactly, yeah. So he had an effect on me. So I know that even all the teachers have an effect on the kids in school, plus parents have effects on their kids. That's quite crucial, honestly. In this whole mission, that's quite crucial.
The parents' effect and the word of mouth is not only about sharing the word of mouth, but sharing the right thing and the accurate thing to other people to influence them. We were talking about like obesity, diabetes, and some related diseases. I know of the topic or of the camera, you were sharing like you had a disease, specific disease. Tell us.
So it was October 2020.
Okay.
I remember I was watching Khabib Nurmagomedov, the UFC champion. I was watching his last fight. He retired after
Was it
that
like
fight.
with McGregor or?
With Justin
No.
Gaethje.
Yeah, Justin Gaethje. It was in Abu Dhabi, so it was in Kuwait. It was at night. So I was watching it with my brother. I went to sleep at 12 a.m. I woke up at 5 a.m. paralyzed. I couldn't move.
Oh.
I have
For no
double
reason?
vision. Yeah.
All of a sudden.
I had a couple of warning signals, but because it was COVID, whenever you went to the hospital with a headache,
COVID.
it's COVID, go out,
Yeah.
Or we're going to take you to the COVID
Test.
Quarantine, please.
Yeah, so no, thank you. So I went back, like they sent me back maybe 5 or 6 times, but the last time I went paralyzed, so they had to take me in. They straight away told me it was a stroke. So I was like, okay. does make sense. I'm young, I'm healthy. Why? But then when I did the MRI in Hadi Clinic, I remember it was the closest hospital to where I live. They found there was damage in the brainstem and my spinal cord. So it was basically an autoimmune disease that I got from my family.
It's like inherited.
Yeah, exactly. My father has the same disease.
So something in the spine was affecting.
No, it was like there was damage done to the myelin sheath in the brain.
Okay.
So basically, my own brain was attacking itself. It's an autoimmune disease.
Yeah.
So it attacked my brain and my spinal cord. So for maybe 7-8 months, I was wearing an eye patch. I couldn't see. Like I had double vision basically. This eye couldn't close, so I had to cover it every day when I wanted to sleep. So it was very tough, and it took me a lot to get back to where I am now, walking.
Yeah, I
playing
imagine
football.
it takes a lot of mental fortitude before the physical part.
It really does. And the thing is, you never know how strong you are until you actually go through it. Because if you told me before that you're going to go through all these things, not driving, not being able to carry your sons, not being able to walk, not being able to shower on your own, all this, basically paralyzed, you know?
Yeah.
So if you would have told me before that, I would have no, I couldn't take it. I would have doubts, you know? But when you go through it, when God tests you like that, He also gives you what you need to go through it. Now I feel I am stronger than ever, especially mentally.
Yeah.
Especially mentally. So, and when I say that, I know I'm going to suffer from this disease for the rest of my life. There's no cure. Like for every couple of weeks, I have to go to the hospital and get the medicine and stuff. I say, like, I'm really thankful because there are so many people who are worse than me. And I honestly, I benefited a lot mentally from getting this disease because it changed my life all of a sudden, you know? All of a sudden, I slept, I woke up paralyzed. I couldn't see.
Must have been a nightmare. But mashallah, I just want to, emphasize for the audience, because you're sitting, you don't look at all. Like
full of positivity.
Yeah,
full
you were
of,
like the peak
hope.
of fitness and health.
But do you know why? It's after mental fortitude and the grace of God.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing that, the X factor. You can try to be tough, try to be strong, you go through what you go through.
Yeah.
But you have to have faith as well.
Yeah.
So faith is very important, especially when you're sick,
Yeah.
Like especially in Kuwait, we're Muslims, like we do have faith, and it's very important that when you're actually going through something tough, you have to be strong. You have to put in the work. Like for me to get back to walking and then to actually jogging, and then how many times I fell down, how many times I nearly broke my arm and my leg and while trying to work out.
Yeah.
But the first thing I did, which is to emphasize the point of exercising and diet, is when I was sick and I started to walk again, I bought and created a home gym. I spent a lot of money, but it was crucial because now I'm sitting here because I was able to work out every day at home at my own pace because I was paralyzed. I had to start from zero. And it's not easy, but like I said, when you go through it, you'll understand how tough you are. And that's a real test. And at that time, you'll understand who you truly are.
Such a great mentality to have, actually.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Coach
Also,
Abdullah.
inspiration.
Very inspirational, very amazing. You are like spreading positivity and energy to a lot of people. For Coach Abdullah, how does he inspire himself on daily basis?
Oh, that's a tough question. Honestly, the simple answer would be, because I have my two sons, so they would provide me with, thank you very much. They would provide me with enough motivation to get up and work because I'm not doing it for myself, but also at the same time, I understand the responsibility. Like, since people are following what I'm saying, I have many clients from all over the world, so I understand that there is some value that people are actually benefiting from. So it's a responsibility that I have to actually get up and provide the best and most at the highest quality of information basically to people, because I actually when I think about it, whether if someone wants to pay and sign up, whether it's just free information, what you say is important because some people will take that and run with it.
Yeah.
And would waste maybe 2 or 3 months of of their lives following your recommendations, for example. So let's say my recommendations were wrong and I had maybe 3 or 4 people waste their time, and time is more valuable than money, and people would waste their time following these, like you said, fad diets and other stuff. So it's quite important for me to actually provide the accurate information for people to follow by themselves, because I'm against the idea that you have to pay for a piece of information. You must have this information provided to you, and in this day and age, I know everyone can actually research for the more accurate information than Google before. Now you have some AI and stuff, so you can get better information, but still you need that human element with all the AI apps and stuff going on, the human element, people miss it and they need it
Yeah,
because
has
they
a
need
different
someone who,
taste.
yeah, like when I see you and I speak to you, I understand that you go through the same things that I go through. You have emotion. For example, you get married, you have kids and stuff. So you would understand my perspective.
I can relate.
Exactly.
That's why, that's why OpenAI, who's the company behind ChatGPT,
Yeah.
emphasized that you don't take medical advice from them, but actually go for the actual doctor.
Yeah.
Because, what AI tells you, like you said, it's not about the face-to-face communication. You need someone there, present in the moment,
Yeah.
to talk you through it.
I agree because the other day I did an experiment with my friends and 3 of them apparently have cancer now,
Oh.
according to ChatGPT. Yeah, because when you use it just to give it some of the stuff that you're going through, it would diagnose you like that, same as Google. Now, even family members have gone through the same things. But thankfully, my older brother, is a doctor, so he's there to correct that information. Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to ask you something because you've been through quite an amazing triumph, an amazing journey. So I do want to take one value that you think you'd hide the most, right? What is something you value or the life lesson you value the most in the moment?
And do you mean like when I was going through the?
Yeah, I mean right now, like after
Right
going
now?
through all of this, all of these trials and tribulations.
To me, it's a great question because I can't say it's only one thing, but believe in yourself. That's the thing. As long as you're working hard, you're truly working hard, you know that you're doing what's within your own hands, you're gonna be good. Don't be afraid of the moment. Like whenever you're working in life, for example, even when you're studying in college, you study before the exam, you're nervous.
You're nervous, yeah.
It's normal. It doesn't mean you didn't study, but you're still nervous.
Yeah.
And that's okay. As long as you're not afraid of the moment, you work hard, you have faith, you will achieve all your goals. Because when I speak, it's okay, fitness, exercise, nutrition stuff, but in life in general, whatever your goals are, as long as you work hard and have faith, you're gonna achieve something. You don't need to know what you're gonna achieve, but you know that you have to put in the work. It's day by day. You can't only focus on the end result. You have to enjoy the journey, and that's the thing that I didn't do when I was studying in Ireland. Like I was the first in my class. That's like I was so proud. One of my proudest moments was when I was able to raise the Kuwaiti flag, in their home arena, as they say, because I watch football. And that's very important to me to win away, away from home. So as a Kuwaiti in Ireland, lifting the Kuwaiti flag, being the first there. While in school, I wasn't amazing, but when I studied my field, I understood that I'm actually smart. I'm actually good. I didn't know that, and that affected me a lot because I didn't have that confidence in myself that I'm gonna go and be great in college. It was a test because I wanted to study something I like, because I was telling everyone I like this. Yeah, let's see how good you are. So when I went there and I studied, and that was very one of my most proudest moments in my life.
I think this is a great message to conclude with. Be real, be consistent, and be simple. Be who you are, and that's really a great message that you highlighted through your own journey. Thank you so much, Coach Abdullah, for being with us here today, enlightening us, and also sharing your amazing journey.
Thank you very much for having me, and hopefully, I can't even put it better than you did. The last message, it was unbelievable.
No, it was an amazing, honestly, it was an amazing interview. We've had so many questions. I don't think we've gone through like 4 of them. It was such a delightful conversation.
Thank you very
so
much.
I do like to
you
thank
were
you.
too. You both were too. Thank you for having me. It was enjoyable.
Definitely. And now, our dear viewers, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to be back. Stay tuned.
With that, we've reached the end of today's episode of The Untold. That was unfortunately all of the time we've had. It was such an amazing episode, to be honest.
Very amazing, very well said. A lot of valuable information and a lot of theory based on this information, not just something random.
Yeah, it was also a very emotional episode because he was kind enough to share with us a very, heartwarming kind of personal, struggle with his illnesses and everything. It was very admirable the way he overcame all of that and built a foundation, because he is a very influential person, with almost 500,000 social media following.
And I like when he said or mentioned that the most people that he care about influencing is his two sons, because they are seeing him as a role model. And something else that he did that we are all very honorable about is raising the Kuwait flag high in the sky in Ireland.
Yeah, and I do love the way he emphasized the ending of the interview, right? He said, be real, be simple, be consistent. And I think that's a great message to end the episode on. You know, just be yourself, have good expectations, and follow through with them.
Be yourself, work out so you can be proud this summer and you can show off your muscles. Until next time, stay tuned and work out very hard. See you later.